Welcome to the 95th episode of the Friday Nightmares podcast. I am one half of your hosting team, Heather Powell, coming to you today from Waterdown, Ontario, Canada, and we're sneaking this episode in just before my trip. Scott and I managed to hammer out some pretty decent 2024s, so I think I liked all of them more than Scott did, with the exception of one. But that's okay. You know, Scott's allowed to be wrong and I just choose joy. And with me, as always, is
Mr. Smoke Show Crawford, coming to you from the town of Swartz Creek in the county of Genesee, in the state of Michigan, in the United States of America, in the North American continent, in the Western Hemisphere, on the planet Earth, in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm fully vaxxed, boosted, and waxed, and ready to climax, and if you can, please get me wet and feed me after midnight. I'm the man with the glorious beard, a.k.a. Mother of Cats, a.k.a. the man with the humongous ego, a.k.a. Scotthausen, a.k.a. Scotty Too Hottie, a.k.a. Spanky, and a.k.a. one half of the premium podcasting duo.
100% premium podcasting quality. We're so dedicated to our craft that we even make sure that we record before we go away. Tim Davis asked on the Dummy for Horrors podcast who the premium podcast is, which was my question, and gave no context to that. That's an inside joke and made me sound like I am the most attention-seeking bitch that's ever existed in the entire planet. So thank you, Tim.
It was hilarious, to be honest.
And he's such a fucker too, right? And it's so funny. Have you seen the meme where like the two cats are like cuddling and licking each other?
Oh, and then fighting?
Yeah, like that's me and Tim. Like we pretend to fight like on air and on Facebook, but like our messages are like, "You're the best." No, you're the best. I wish I could be like you. I wish I could be like you. It is so opposite to what you see.
It's so weird.
But yeah, but Jill stood up for me. Did you see that? His wife is like, leave Heather alone.
Oh yeah.
I've been successful. I pride myself as a female of befriending all the podcasters' wives and like making them realize that they are above their husbands in every single thing, right?
I mean, it's
like it's true though, right? Like you look at Erica, you look at Jill. We're talking like babes that are hot, smart, funny, the whole package. And exactly. I just have to make sure I keep their men humble so they know.
You never have to humble me. I am like 100% humble.
Have you heard your intro?
Uh-huh. I was like, you may say I'm a 10, but I'm an 8 at best plus 2, says you. Because I'm so humble.
You are, though, a 10, though, Scott. All joking aside, you are also good looking, very handsome gentleman. And a great personality and smart and, funny. And, like, really, you hit it out of the park, too. Like, you're
100%.
Same with Tim Davis. Like, as much as I kid, both of you are definitely, all the guys are that listen to us, everyone. And the girls. They're all fucking fabulous. Really.
They really are.
Right? That's why they listen to Friday Nightmares. Because they're like... They see two equally fabulous people and they're like, oh yeah, we really need to listen to their opinions on 24 horror films.
Especially because they're like, this is premium content right here.
Premium professional podcasters, which I'm glad I just listened to our previous one before this, where we trashed Imaginary, which made me laugh a lot. Especially when you're like, imagination, man. Pretty funny.
I forgot about that.
It was pretty mint. And I'm going to try so hard to walk into that Rested Ghoul cafe in England and be like, I'm not sure if you know me, but I'm a premium professional podcaster.
Yes, do it.
I don't know I can pull it off because I say it, but I don't really mean it, right? Like, and it's so cute because I told Tim, I'm like, it's a joke I have because I think some people take, at the level that we podcast, I think some people take it too seriously.
Yes.
And I'm just being playful because it's a hobby. It's for fun. Neither Scott and I ever think we're going to be any kind of celebrities or anything like that. We appreciate all of our listeners. Thank you so much for joining us. But this is a hobby and Scott and we're just two people that with opinions, right? Like we're nothing special, though people do comment on our chemistry, which I do think is quite good.
Yeah. Well, I was saying that's because we're real life friends.
We have, and we've known each other for fucking 5 years this year. Is that not bonkeroonies?
Yeah, that's freaking crazy.
Right. So
A lot of
I have
shit has happened in those 5 years.
a lot. Your life has not so much me. Like I've traveled and I did a master's degree and I don't know.
Well, I'll say that. Plus, we both went through fucking world life events.
Well, yeah, the pandemic, but I think of you, your life, like you were dating bitches and now you're dating primo. Like you're, well, not even dating. You're basically in a committed relationship now.
Yeah, not basically. I am.
Yeah, like I consider Erica your wife. Like you know what I mean? So I just, yeah, and you're a family man. Like you went from being a single dude with pets and watching movies all the time to barely being able to finish a fucking movie. Right?
Barely even able to finish editing a podcast.
Right? Like one time we remember we used to do like top 10s and we do top 5s and we do all this shit.
Yeah, there's not enough time for that shit now.
No, we had a video game podcast for a half a second. Like it's like there's like 4 episodes of that, I think.
Yeah, which I love the fact that Luffy called me out on that.
Yeah, still he's like, I remember controllers up, cards down. Yeah, that was a fun time, but life has changed and you know, horror movies have got better, got worse. But as we're coming up to our 100th episode, you and I are going to have to talk about the special thing we have planned, which is to go over whatever number we decide, films we want to bring back from the past. I guess by that point, technically be 4 years.
Yeah, because I think we were talking about doing like a top list of all the movies we've covered, like from 2020 to 2023, 2024, depending on when episode 100 comes out. Right.
So yeah, it's just it's crazy. It's crazy to me. I'm so glad we've got to this point. And did the fam come home? You're looking up. Do you want to pause? We can pause.
Oh, let me give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, you can keep talking. Now I'm doing a sub order.
Oh.
So if you
they're getting their stuff from the car.
Oh, they're bringing all their stuff in. I don't know if you want to keep this in the podcast, talking about your family coming in and all that stuff as I'm making a sub order. It shows how premium and professional we are. We're managing to do our personal lives while doing orders. You keep looking over. Right. Is Erica still there?
Oh no, I just heard I heard a door open.
Oh, okay. It's like she's a ghost.
Well, it wasn't even Erica. It was Jaden.
Oh, how is he doing?
He's good. I guess
his best life.
Yeah, but I guess they went and seen Godzilla and Kong.
Oh, nice. What did they think?
He says it's good, but I guess they were listening to our podcast on the way home or something like that, and he goes, "You have the gall to say Godzilla's a horror film?" I'm going, "Yep, it fits in that category."
Look at this kid coming down talking the smack, huh?
Oh, he does. That's all he ever does, talk smack.
Is that Erica now coming in there?
No, that's all of them.
That's all of them. Oh, boy.
But they're all just getting ready to go. They're all just walking through the side door, taking their stuff in their rooms.
They're all like, oh, man, our fucking creepy stepdad's still here.
Pretty much.
Just kidding.
Damn it, he didn't leave.
Oh, man. I still think it's funny a couple of episodes ago how I referred to you as the, what did I call you? The stepdad from Stepdad? What was his name? What was his name in the actual movie?
Oh, God, I forget.
Fuck, it was something like, and he's, remember the opening scene where he like massacres the whole family and they're all like, oh, fuck. And I still can't. I'm trying to build my own sub here, motherfucker. And like, I'm having the worst time. I'm using Mr. Sub instead of Mr. Subway or Subway. You have Subway in the States, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of Subway, have you seen or heard about the Jared, what's his face? The fucking, the pedo, Jared from Subway?
Oh, I knew about that, yeah.
There's a documentary on, what you may call it, Discovery Plus. It's fucking wild, man.
Really?
It's fucking wild. Oh, yeah. Like, talk about real life horrors. You should definitely check it out.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Like, it was one of the most disturbing things I've watched in a long time. I finally found the sub that I wanted. This is good. We managed to kill this out enough time that I found the sub that I wanted.
Excellent.
But yeah, like it's 3 episodes and like it's not as good as the Nickelodeon one. Did you guys get a chance to watch that yet?
No, not yet.
No? Okay. You got to let me know if you do watch it.
What is that on?
I have it on Discovery Plus here in Canada. I do not know what it's on for you.
I'll say it might be on Plex. I'll have to check.
If not, you can always ask
This is true.
our good friend. All right, do you need to go ahead if you need to say something?
No, I'm just looking over. Hey, bud.
Hey, Scott.
Who is that? Is that Connor?
Yeah.
Oh, is Connor the one that liked Skinamarink?
Yes.
Too bad we didn't give him more prep time. You could have got him to say why.
I don't even know if he actually watched it yet. I think he just watched YouTube videos on it.
Oh, he didn't even watch the whole thing yet.
As far as I know.
Oh man, there's still hope for him yet, huh?
Maybe.
Well, while I'm putting in my order, why don't we get started with the 2024s? I feel like we've dragged this out long enough. If you're good, I don't. Scott keeps looking over. I feel like this is a fucking found footage film, and Scott's gonna get killed any minute, people. Like, it's a matter of time. The kids are finally fighting back. They're like, our evil stepfather. We know it's true. You don't have more than 500 downloads for Friday Nightmares.
It is true. It is.
Erica's like, I thought I was being with a famous podcaster. You and Heather lied to me.
No, you forget we're premium, not famous. Premium.
Oh, that's right. Premium. So I guess we could start with this first one, because you were the one that turned me on to this. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have even known that it existed. The Festival of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, you were the one that told me about it, because I was all like, what? Like, I had no idea.
Yeah, because this one I started seeing people like promoting it, so I was like, oh, okay, it's supposed to be like, I think, because I'm friends with the Saska sisters on Facebook.
Are you really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like fan page or whatnot, but they were promoting it.
Oh, that's fucking wild, dude, that you know, like, that you're friends with them on Facebook.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll bring this one in. So the Festival of the Living Dead is a to-be original by the Saska sisters themselves. 88-minute runtime. While attending a festival to commemorate the original zombie attack, Ash and her friends encounter the undead and must fight back or be devoured. And so, yeah, this is basically supposed to be a sequel after Night of the Living Dead, 40, 50 some odd years later. And the world has went back to normal. And like most places, they do like things like big events like this get festivals or things to be kind of a memorial and commemorate. And of course, being the younger generation, not knowing much about it because they lived through it, they treat it more as a party. And it almost represents like Burning Man from the video, or from what the movie shows.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good comparison, Scott.
But so it's an old festival where everybody's partying and not really giving too much of a concern about what happened. And then the zombie infection happens again. And yeah, this was all right. I was hoping for something a little more wild, being the Saska sisters, because American Mary was freaking awesome. But yeah, this was your typical run-of-the-mill zombie film with not a lot of gore, which was kind of a disappointment because when you're doing a zombie film, I like to see a lot of practical effects if possible. But they had some likable characters and then definitely some despisable characters. All in all, I found this to be just a all right watch. It wasn't terrible and just easy to watch. Can't complain because it's a Tubi.
Yeah, I feel like I'm right there with you. I felt like they could have done a better job of connecting it back to the OG. I don't know if there was a rights issue with that. No,
I don't think there is, because Night of the Living Dead is pretty much free to grab for anybody, because there was like a copyright issue with that a long time ago when the movie got made.
Okay. I liked that they had people of all, I don't know, I like the representation. And I know there's people that don't like that. I like movies with representation. I like seeing people of color. I like seeing people that may be part of a different community represented. I love seeing someone in a wheelchair being represented in a way of showing them being able to, I don't want to say fend for themselves, but being able to handle situations to the best of their ability. Like when that kid was fighting off some chick with his chair as like the only option he had to kind of defend himself, I was like, I'm glad to see this like kind of in a heroic way, because there's not a lot of movies where you see too many people that are using a wheelchair where they're being kind of heroic. There's a handful, right? There was that one with the service dog that really wasn't that great that we saw a couple of years ago. Yeah. But this, I thought, was a little bit more emotional. I was invested in some of the characters. Like, I was upset when certain characters got killed. I was like, fuck, like I was really hoping they were going to make it. I thought the dialogue was fairly realistic between teenagers. Like, honestly, I thought it was well written.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good film, but I felt there was just something missing. And maybe you're right when you say the gore piece. Maybe that's what it was. Because otherwise, I like the plot, I like the acting, I like the characters. I like the way they talk to each other. And I felt the ending was kind of like, and that's it. And that's
Yep.
it. Right. And I maybe that's what I felt was a little loosey goosey. I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like when I was watching this movie, it almost felt like I've seen this movie before. Like it was very familiar. Like I think they played it a little too safe.
Yeah, and maybe that's it. I did like how there were zombies that were quick and some that were slow. I liked how the paramedic kind of had that conversation about where they were changing, like people were aware when they were changing. Mm-hmm. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know. Like I think this had the potential to be really good.
Yeah.
And it ended up just being mediocre, and that's a shame. Because I think all the ingredients were there for a really good film. I just don't know what it didn't push it over. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I need someone else to watch it though. Like not a lot of people watch Tubi films, so maybe Dummies of Horror will watch it, or maybe Jason Gray will watch it. Maybe Dave Bailey will watch it and give a little bit of a review on it. Like, I feel like I need someone like that to kind of maybe help me piece together why I don't like it as much as I thought I would.
Our good friend Dave Bailey did watch it. He gave it 2 stars.
Oh, wow. He really didn't like it, huh?
Yeah, definitely did not seem to be a fan of it.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess I'm probably the higher. I'm probably sitting around 4 stars. Like I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed 4 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. It just wasn't a great movie for me, but I don't know. Maybe I just got into the characters. I just liked how the one chick tells off her fucking boyfriend and shit. Like, I don't know. There's just certain things that I really did like. But I recommend people watch it.
Yeah, I'll say I'd recommend watch it. It's free. I'll say I gave it a 3 out of 5. Like it's entertaining, but it just isn't anything like crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's better than some of the other shit we've seen, like Imaginary.
Yeah, there's only one movie I've seen since Imaginary that was worse than Imaginary, and we'll get to that.
Oh, I'm excited for that one. Good. The next movie we'll talk about is not the latest Shudder release, because we are recording this episode on just passing of the most recent Shudder release, but I guess the Shudder release before that, Baghead, which is, I'm not sure if you're aware, Scott, this movie was made by the UK, in the UK.
Oh, here we go again. I was aware, and I was waiting for you to say it.
So I had a really funny conversation with Scott about this, because Erica didn't really like this movie. And I had this whole sitting. There's a part where people are tied to a chair in this. And I indicated that I have tied Erica to a chair to make her watch shitty movies. And she said, why are we doing this? Why are you making me watch these films? And I wrote something like, because Erica, we are premium professional podcasters. And we have no choice. One single tear rolls down Heather's cheek. Anyway, I liked this film though. Scott and Erica didn't like this film. I didn't see the end coming. I guess I'm not as smart as Scott and Erica with their big Michigan brains, because I didn't see this ending coming. Erica's like, it was predictable. I'm like, yeah, totally. And I'm like, I didn't see that coming one bit.
And I don't think she was just talking the ending. I think she was talking just like the whole thing. She called out so many things.
True. Like there were some things that you knew were going to happen, but the ending I did not see coming. So, Talk to the Dead, pay the price. And Scott and I also fundamentally disagree about this being similar to another film. I'm more on the side of Tim Davis, which we're reconnecting, Tim and I. Following the death of her estranged father, Iris learns she has inherited a rundown century-old shitty pub. And man, is it a shitty fucking pub. Who would drink in this piece of shit? It looks like it hasn't been dusted in like 18 billion years. How are they surviving paying property taxes? Anyway, she travels to Berlin to identify her father's body and meets the solicitor to discuss the estate. Little does she know, when the deed is signed, she will become tied to the pub and what I'm just gonna leave some stuff out of here because it's a spoiler, and what is within the pub. Tied for life. So Scott, why are you a Debbie Downer and didn't enjoy this film?
Well, first I must preface this by saying I was actually looking forward to this movie. I thought, like, I seen the trailer and I'm going, oh hell yeah, this is gonna be one I'm gonna be really excited for. And it starred, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she played Ciri in the Witcher series. So I was like excited because I was like, oh yeah, she's a good actress, man.
Freena Allen.
I think so.
She played Iris, the main chick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Freya Allen. Yep. Man, I was disappointed in this. It just was like you were saying. We compared it to another movie that you were disagreeing about. For me, this was just Talk to Me, but just less good and less gory. Like it had the exact same thing. Person tied to a chair. Well, not tied to a chair, but person in a chair reveals the ghost that they want to see of one of their past loved ones.
It's not the same thing because in Talk to Me you hold a hand and it's a game. This is an actual creature. It's different.
But instead of holding the hand, you remove a bag.
But it's a person, not a hand. It's an actual physical person that comes out of the wall, which is silly in its own accord. And like, I get what you're saying. I understand, but like, it's not like, I don't know. I don't think they ripped off Talk to Me. Like, I don't think
they ripped off Talk to Me. Okay. I just think it's very similar. Has a very similar story. I just think Talk to Me was a better one because, for one, the acting of this was okay. Mm-hmm. No gore, barely a body count, and it was supposed to be built on atmosphere, which I did not feel like had good atmosphere. Because if you're gonna shy away from like the gore and killing a lot of people, at least build it with tension and atmosphere. And I did not feel that at all. Like it just felt I don't know. Like it just did not work for me. And like Erica said too, there is we were calling out a lot of things going, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. The ending, I will admit, I didn't see coming till probably about 10 minutes before it happened, and then I was going, oh, I bet this is going to happen.
Okay.
I didn't predict it from the beginning or anything like that. It was just something like, I have a feeling this is going to happen. But just some of the character decisions in this, I was just like,
yeah, but you guys get too into that. It's a fucking horror movie, guys.
Well, yeah. See, now if I'm watching something like Five-Headed Shark Attack or something ridiculous, yeah, I expect dumb decisions and things like that make no sense. But when you're trying to portray...
Or Me Out on a Saturday Night, you expect.
Exactly. There's a certain... when you try to portray something serious and kind of, have a bit of a message, I want it to be a little more taken seriously and kind of cover those loose ends.
Fair enough. This is definitely folklore horror.
Yes.
It's this myth and legend, and I don't know. I did feel the background story was a little like, oh my god, yes, of course. But I think I liked the characters more than you. I didn't mind the relationships in this. I thought the one character who wanted to speak to someone as the layers were revealed of him, I found his issues more interesting than I did the main chick, to be honest. Yeah. I found him more layered and, more trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely enjoyed this for the folklore horror story that it was. We're looking at a 95 runtime here. I probably sit at 3.5 stars, around the same place that Matt Wood and Tim Davis did. So you've heard our thoughts. Let's hear from Matt Wood, who gives Scott and I a Wood.
Yeah, he does. And I was like, because I think Matt Wood has a lot of similar thoughts that I do.
Yeah, and first of all, he acknowledges that it's a British horror because...
Well, I mean, he's British. Of course
he's British. And it has a lot of things going for it. I think the story and concept were great. I think it was well directed and well shot. Absolutely, Matt. However, as the film went on, a few things started to happen I realized I wasn't keen on. Didn't really like the actress who played the mate. She got on my tits. Fucking so funny. Then the main actor started annoying me as well. I don't know. They didn't annoy me, but I get that. That's always selective. And then there's some spoilers here. But yeah, and then Tim Davis said not entirely new concept yet. It's one that we haven't seen that much of, so it felt fresh to me. I agree, Tim. That's how I felt too. Overall, I enjoyed the film, but I found a few plot holes, character decisions, and lack of gore. Like, what is with people in plot holes? I swear to God, this is all you being gaslit by plot holes and being like, all of a sudden, all these horror podcasters are like, oh, like, I don't know.
No,
This is a fucking
this
stupid
is
ghost
just
movie. I don't expect much for plot
Heather.
holes.
This is just you being gaslit by 2024s. You
No,
can't
no, I'm
see
not
you're
gaslit.
You're gaslighting
No,
us. You're gaslighting us by saying we're
no.
gaslit by plot holes.
Because when it's a ghost story, you turn off your brain. I'm sorry. When it's like some crazy folklore about some bitch with a bag on her head that lives in the fucking wall, you automatically go, there's going to be shit here that doesn't make sense. Now, if it's
Oh,
something like
if it didn't make
Swallow,
sense, yes, but like,
right?
if it didn't make sense, yes, but there's some parts where you're going, this could have been easily solved.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think unless it's a movie that's so based in reality, like it's a horror film like Double Blind, for example, where it's these kids in an institution and shit goes wrong, then yes, I can appreciate if there's major plot holes in that. But like when you start pulling in bitches that come with bags out of the walls, I'm sorry, on their heads, I begin to be like, well, you know, like there's so many questions of why this pub hasn't been opened in so long. How is it still standing? How is this? Well, we know how money has been made, which makes sense. That would have to go in to pay the rent for the place. I don't know. I guess I'm a little softer now. Maybe I'm just getting soft, Scott.
You're just gaslit. That's all there is to it. Just admit it.
The continuing theme of 2024. So you got some polarizing opinions on this movie. Personally, I think this is one of the better Shudder films. I'll be real, I enjoyed this more than other ones.
This is definitely one of the better ones. I mean, I still only gave it 3 out of 5. This seems to be my score for a lot of films so far this year.
Yeah.
But like, it's definitely one of the better Shudder ones. Like, there's still one more that's top tier above the rest, but we'll be talking about that.
There's one that's going to be in my top 5 movies of all time. Like, that's, to me, like, that's fucking gold.
Yeah.
You don't see that often, right? So for me, I think this is a watch for this year. I think you will like it enough. For some people, it may be on their top 10. I don't know, unless it's your really sucks donkey dick, then yeah, maybe on my top 10 too. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I enjoyed it enough for what it is. If you enjoy folklore horror and you're not overly concerned with plot holes and unlikable characters, then you can probably get through this one. And it's a 95-minute runtime. If you got Shudder, I don't know if you've sat through the other Shudder releases, this is probably better than those. So
yep, and this is another one that I'd also recommend, just because, yeah, if it's above a 2.5, I'll recommend it.
Yeah, that's a really fair way to look at it. But we'll move to our next one, and this is a fun one. I'll let you do the intro for this.
All right, so this one is called The Last Night at Terrace Lanes, with a 75-minute runtime. Young heroine Kennedy and her friends find themselves at Terrace Lanes on its last night of operation. When chaos breaks out, Kennedy and her father must come together to try and save their friends and survive the night. Yeah, this is a low-budget, let's say independent slasher/cult film. This is, and it's very tongue-in-cheek. I had a lot of fun with this one. Like, yeah, it's not amazingly acted, not something that'll probably be in my top 10, but I still quite enjoyed this. Like, it might be in my top 10 depending on how this year goes, but like right now I gave it a 7 out of 10, like, so 3.5 stars. But yeah, I enjoyed the characters. The main girl, like, I warmed up to her, but at first I really didn't care for her. But at the same time, I found this pretty entertaining and pretty funny at some points.
So I am with Scotty only. I'm sitting at probably a good 9 out of 10 on this film.
Damn.
I really liked this film. I thought this is fucking low budget done right. Again,
for sure.
Low budget done right. And I didn't find the main young lady annoying at all. I actually liked the 2 buddies that were in it, and shame that they weren't in it for more. I thought they were interesting. I like some of the side characters that were met. And when it's low budget like this, I don't expect state-of-the-art acting. Like, you know, I expect, like what you said, like it's low budget acting. But, you know, if this will be the wrestling one for you.
Oh yeah, Here for Blood.
Here for Blood. This is my Here for Blood. This will very likely be in my top 10 at the end of the year. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought the special effects and the practical effects for being a low budget film were done well. you can't always show the kill happening, but if you can show a good aftermath,
Yeah.
I respect it, right? I thought this whole concept of what they were doing was simplistic, but yet entertaining. I found that they did a good job of kind of explaining why they couldn't get outside help, indicating how involved this group of intruders were, and I'll leave it at that. You know, talking about plot holes, this is a film where something like this could happen and has happened. Like this is shit that does occur. And I think that the movie did a good job of showing, obviously there's some sensationalized things that happen, but how they're in this isolation and why they can't get outside help, I thought was handled well.
Yeah, but I was going to say, and this is one of those films where it did have some plot holes, but it was like ones I could look past because of the style of the film.
Yes, right. And like you're also, it's being like, let's say worst case scenario, this shit happened, and then there's some, extravagant other things that occur, right? I thought the ending was fucking chef's kiss. Like, what a fucking clever ending. To me, and I think this is, again, someone like Jason Gray is really going to enjoy something like this. Dave Bailey gave it 4 stars, not surprising to me. Matt Wood, I think you'll enjoy this if you get a chance to watch it. Same with Tim Davis. Tim, make sure you go in knowing that, not that you don't know that things are low budget, but know that this is a low budget film, and to expect, a little bit of wooden acting and stuff like that. I think if you can forgive that,
it's got more
you can
of
have a really
budget.
good time.
And I was saying it's got more of a budget than Here from Blood.
Yes, absolutely. I really liked it a lot. To me, this is definitely rent worthy. I think $5.99 rental is definitely fair. Like, I give these people money. They put a lot of thought and time into this, and they ran it well. And it's available on all the streaming services. We're talking about Apple TV, Google Play, Vudu, Microsoft Store, and YouTube. Anything you want to add?
No, I think you nailed it. Because, this was just a fun indie film and very entertaining. I'd say it's definitely in the horror comedy aspect.
Yeah, like, it's definitely a horror comedy. It's a good way to put it. It's, I don't know. I fucking really dug this film. George watched it with me. He's not huge. And I said to him, oh, well, this is considered low budget. He's like, really? This isn't that bad. I'm like, I know. Like, some low budget stuff can be good. It's all about how you spend your money. It's all about how the setting, like, they did a good job of picking one setting. I find that low budget horror movies that pick one fucking setting and they utilize the fuck out of it, they tend to do much better.
Exactly.
Because then they're not paying for rights for other places, and they're not worrying about transportation there and back. They're focused on one area, and they're able to exploit that area to the best of their ability, and that's what makes a huge difference. So definitely check it out. This is definitely a movie that I think people should support for low budget horror.
I completely agree with that.
And I guess it's my turn, right?
Yep.
All right. This is another Tubi. And I don't know how Tubi got this movie. I don't know how this is a Tubi original. This is a Tubi original, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Motherfuckers, Tubi. You making some money, baby. All right. This is sitting at a 90-minute runtime. It is called The Survival Instincts of a Road Tripping Family Are Put to the Test. What? Sorry, Low Lives. Sorry.
You said it is called, and took right into the synopsis. I'm like, wait, what?
Low Lives. Sorry, my bad. It is called Low Lives, and I'm so excited to talk about it. That's why.
I can tell.
Right? Anyway, okay. The survival instincts of a road tripping family are put to the test when they have no other choice but to stay the night at a remote homestead. It is rare that a movie gets me with twists. Now, obviously, Baghead did, but rarely that I am surprised. This movie got me with 2 fucking twists that I know Scott saw one of them coming, that I did not see coming. This movie is so fucking mint. So good.
Yeah, this was a really nice surprise. Like, even when I seen the cover art for it on Tubi, I'm going, whoa, this looks not like a Tubi movie the way this cover looks. I did not know what to expect going into it because I didn't watch a trailer or anything. I just jumped right into it. And yeah, it takes some turns and keeps you guessing. And the acting is freaking great. And there is some pretty brutal gore scenes. And it just all around, I had a fucking blast with this movie. This is the best Tubi original I have ever seen.
I loved all the characters. Like, I was invested in what happened to everybody.
Yeah.
And there's so little you can say about this film because we can't even talk about the first 15 minutes without spoiling this film.
Like, this is just one you have to go in to experience.
if you like maybe isolation horror, you like a little bit of survival horror, you're a fan of like people just being put into a situation and things not seeming, things aren't what they seem, then you will fucking love this film. Whoever wrote this, I hope to see more from them. I think that this was a very good writing, very good directing. Let's see, Al Calpan also wrote Zombie Beavers, interestingly
Really?
enough. Yep. And The Drone from 2019. Seems like they write a lot of low budget films. And hey, I am here for it. Al, keep coming out with shit like this because this was different. And this is something, Scott, it was different.
Yes.
It took a concept that we thought, I've seen this a million times, and flipped it around.
Exactly.
And I really appreciated that a lot.
Yep, and this one was taken very seriously and like just a solid ride throughout the entire thing. And yeah, like once again, characters that I really liked, I did not want to see like die or anything like that. So it was like it kept you invested. Like this was a solid fucking movie. I'll be shocked if this does not stay in my top 10 by the end of the year.
Oh, it will be in my, unless this like something really stellar comes out. This will be. I have a feeling you and I will both be talking about this movie maybe multiple times this year because I think it may end up on another list. I just thought it was so well done. Yeah, like it's like slow clap for originality. Honestly, everyone, this is a to be watch. Go watch it. And I know some people are going to go watch it and be like, I didn't like it that much, and that's fine. Like it doesn't have to be your jam. But I think appreciate how this is something different. It starts off one way, it switches another. Yes, it's a little low budget. Yes, there's some cheesy acting in it, but I don't know. It didn't take me out of it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was glued to the screen. I cared very much about what happened. Now the next one is yours. You watch this one, Model House. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't watch this one?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
All right, so damn. All right. So yeah, this one is called Model House. 85-minute runtime. You never really know who's following you. Models staying in a secluded house for the night are terrorized by intruders. Yeah, this was forgettable. Like I just watched this like 4 days ago, and there just wasn't a lot to it. If this gives you any clue, at least to Heather, Scout Taylor Compton is in this.
Oh my god.
And we know what her movies are like lately. It was.
She's fine, but like I don't know. Like they're all kind of the same. You know what I mean?
I'll say all of her movies just kind of have that feel to them.
Except for Bury the Bride, of course.
Oh god, that one is definitely a meh. That was a
Academy Award film.
That was a super meh. But yeah, this one just had some decent characters, but being models, I had a lot of unlikable women because they're the Instagram types that are, what do you call them?
Flighty?
Personalities, YouTube personalities.
Superficial?
Yes. Yeah, and like just none of them were, there was only, I think, 2 characters I really cared for, the main character and one other one that was like,
was Scout Taylor Compton the main character or no?
No, she was somebody else.
Okay.
But yeah, like she did fine. Like it was like now that I'm talking about it, I remember a little more. It was passable, but I only gave this 2.5 stars. It's nothing great. I've seen a lot of movies similar to this, so it just wasn't anything special.
That's too bad. Is it a Tubi film?
This one is available to rent on Apple TV, Google Play, Vudu, Amazon, and YouTube. Our friend Dave Bailey gave it 3.5 stars.
Oh, Dave must have jacked off to it halfway through.
Well, I think he also likes Scout Taylor Compton more than I do.
Ah, okay.
And Tammy or looks like she's watched it, but she has not rated it, or she gave it a 0. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't even say this is worth a rent. It is just.
Oh, really? It was that bad, huh? Oh.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but if it was on streaming, I'd say worth your time. But I don't know if I'd pay money to see it.
Hey, that's the real talk. Yeah. That's the real talk right here on
just
Friday Night Nerds. Well, and we just talked about some other movies you can watch that are way better.
Exactly.
For free on Tubi.
Right.
So watch them. The next one is an Indonesian film on Netflix. So as we know, Netflix always picks up Indonesian films. I feel like all the time.
Yes.
Like forever. And this one is called The Haunted Hotel. Reno inherited a hotel in some range, but was inherited a hotel that doesn't mean some range. Let's just say that he and his younger brother eventually managed. What the fuck? Okay, that's not a good synopsis. This woman inherits a hotel. There is a room that is apparently haunted, and she has to figure out the mystery. That's my new synopsis.
Deal.
Her and her ex-husband kind of work together to solve this issue. It's 110-minute runtime, like typical Indonesian films. They tend to be longer in the tooth.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like a Hallmark, lifey,
oh boy,
type of film, but not too extreme. The third act's very good. The third act, where things kind of pick up and there's a real threat, is very good. There's also an incredible kill in this that might win Kill of the Year for me.
Ooh, nice.
It's very, very good. That being said, I think if you enjoy ghosty films, you have Netflix. It's on Netflix and Netflix Basic. I think it's worth a watch. It is subtitled only. The first half of this film is very plot heavy, a lot of conversation. There is some good creepy shit that happens. And like typical Indonesian films, you never get a full happy ending.
Of course.
So, ghosts are dicks in Indonesian films. They don't forgive. They're like, fuck you for life. So if you like that, then you will like this film. I do think it's worth watching if you have Netflix, especially if you're like a podcaster. I think it's has some good parts to it. It is entertaining enough, but I don't think it's like the best ghost film of the year. But I did enjoy some of the kills in it, and I did enjoy the third act quite a bit. I thought the third act was really good, and I kind of figured something was going to happen at the end, but I didn't see happening at the end what happened. But I did enjoy it. So if you got the Netflix and you got the time, it's called The Haunted Hotel. It is Indonesian, and it is in subtitles only if you want to watch it.
All right, good to know. That might be one I'll check out then. But one, speaking of one that I won't be checking out again. All right, so this one is called The Night the World Ends, with a 93-minute runtime. 4 couples stranded at a remote lakeside cabin on the eve of a reported alien invasion discover not everything as it seems. Here, let me pull up our chat, because I was ranting about this one. Give me 1 second.
Your chat was really funny. I feel like your chat had better writing than the movie.
Yeah. All right, still scrolling. That was a while ago, apparently.
We've done much more judging since then. We're just little judgy pants over here.
Okay, so here it is.
Finally.
Let's see. So I messaged you. Okay, so yeah, this was like on April 17th. So I'm watching this movie called The Night the World Ends. Good Lord, the dialogue in this is painful. It's like whoever wrote this wanted to make a statement about the way the world is now by talking about the economy, but doesn't understand how to write. So far in 5 minutes, I have heard about how bad the economy is from different characters 5 times already. We did it. The economy is bad. Also, supposedly all the electronics are down, but somehow the security cameras in this cabin still work. And then, well, I didn't think it was possible, but it's getting even worse. Now there is a scene where a couple just finished having sex and they were talking about their future. Then the woman says, I think I'm pregnant. And they talk some more, acting all lovey-dovey, and then she just blurts out of nowhere, the baby may not be yours, though, but I still love you. I accidentally slept with three guys at a party. What the flying fuck?
Man, why can't I go to a party like that?
And I was like, and this movie keeps getting worse and worse, and I can't help but hate watch it now. Like, the characters all have something derogatory to say about homeless people. Two strangers show up and that are friendly, and in this cast of characters roofies them and left them at their broke down car because they were a tiny bit odd. And this isn't even a comedy, but what the fuck? And then
is it supposed to be like a talk, like a comment on society, like how?
I looked into someone else's review of this, because only one other person has watched this, and it was Tim Walker, and he gave it a 0.5 star.
Okay.
But there was someone that I found their review, and it said that this production company claims to pick up progressive and meaningful films. So they're thinking,
Oh,
oh, this is going to be
okay.
heavy topic and blah, 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 blah,
I
blah. And
see. Okay.
yeah, like if this is the type of topic, then you are just terrible at choosing movies to produce. Because good
Yeah.
God, like this, it tried to say something about the economy, but just kept saying, "Hey, the economy's bad. Did you know the economy's bad? Oh man, this world would be so much better if the economy wasn't bad." And it was like shit like that. It just no real in-depth talk about it. Then one character's talking about, yeah, the economy sucks right now, and I feel so bad for my parents. Like, they may be losing their home. The guy goes, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. She's like, well, it's more like they'll be losing their income because they're landlords, and this is a home that they're making money on. And now these people that live there can't afford to pay it, and they're going to be homeless. And I fucking hate homeless people. Homeless people should just be drug out and shot. And blah, blah. I'm like, what the fine fuck
Well,
is going
there are
on?
people that exist like that. But yeah, that's a pretty heavy.
But it's
Oh
just
my.
done so poorly, and the acting was awful,
Yeah.
and the writing was
Yeah.
awful, and the story went nowhere, and the act.
Yeah.
Oh my God! This congratulations, movie. You have beat Imaginary. It's the worst film I've seen this year.
But at least it
Whopping
didn't have the budget that Blumhouse did, so we'll give them that much. At least they're low
true.
budget, not Lionsgate and Blumhouse.
This movie gets a half star from me as well. And
Awkward.
yeah, if you want to watch this piece of garbage, well, you're in luck. It's nowhere to be found right now. Good job.
Well, yeah,
This was,
yeah.
when I say I hate watched it, I was only about 25, 30 minutes into the movie, and I already said, I fucking hate this movie, but I'm going to finish it now.
But I can't stop.
Like, this is a train wreck that just doesn't want to die.
Yeah, that sounds really sad, actually.
Yeah, and
it sounds sad.
It was bad. Like, so bad. Like, I lost brain cells.
Yeah, I hear you. So, good news. No one has to watch it. Just Scott. Yay!
Yeah, I don't recommend, so you're all in luck.
Well, another one came out that Scott and I are not friends over now because Scott doesn't like plot holes, and neither does Erica in movies of things that would never happen in the real world. But anyway, we'll get into it now. Immaculate 2024. Not everyone's intervention is divine. Oh, that's a really cheesy tagline, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty cheese. Anyway, Cecilia, an American nun of devout faith, embarks on a new journey in the remote convent in the picturesque Italian countryside. Cecilia's warm welcome quickly devours into a nightmare as it becomes clear her new home harbors a sinister secret and unspeakable horrors. I thought this was okay. Matt Wood's given it 4 stars. Dave Bailey's given it 4 stars. Matt's even given a review. Let's see what Matt said. I wouldn't really hyped into it. Slow start, and the film does suffer from some plot holes. However, the film cranks it up as it goes along with some nice brutal scenes. I agree.
Yep.
Great performance from Sydney Sweeney. I agree. To me, this felt like a religious poor man's version of another movie, though I'm sure a lot of people won't get the similarities. That's an interesting comparison, Matt. I do think you have a point. He compares it to Midsommar.
Yeah, I was just looking. I'm like, I don't know if I see that.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Matt on this. The plot holes, honestly, like, we can't give away the major plot of the movie because then it kind of gets a spoiler. But to me, it was so far-fetched that I could forgive things that happen. It's kind of a culty science film mixed with religion, and a little bit about patriarchy.
Yeah.
And I thought it was sensationalized. I thought the effects were really good, and I thought it moved relatively well for a 89-minute runtime, and it was something a little different compared to what we've seen with this concept before. So what were your problems? Because we all know you got problems.
Well, yeah, I think you'll be shocked because this is an 8 out of 10 for me. This is a 4
What?
out of 10.
So Erica was the one with the problems.
No, that's why it's not better than this, because I was really digging the story.
Mm-hmm.
It was the plot holes that kept it from being better than the movie that I watched first that night, which is the next one we're going to be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I found the acting to be really fucking good. The story was very intriguing. The way it was filmed, the cinematography, everything, score, all of that beautiful. It did take a little bit to start to start going, but once it picked up steam, holy fuck, did it get brutal. Has one of the best kills so far for the year for me. And a couple other one just like holy shit moments. The ending was kind of jaw dropping.
I agree.
Yeah, there were just a few little plot holes, which can't talk about here because of spoilers and whatnot. But that's why it was not getting a higher score than that. Like, because I was agreeing with Rob Humphreys because he was saying that he's like, this movie's just overhyped. He's like, he just finished watching it, and I literally just finished watching it at the same time. And he's like, yeah, this movie was overhyped. I'm like, yeah, it was overhyped. Like, because there are people that are saying best movie of the year, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I wouldn't say it's best movie of the year, but it's a damn good movie. Like, I think this is definitely one to watch. Like, if you are, making a top 10 for the end of the year or whatever, this is definitely one in contention to watch because this one was really fucking good.
I wouldn't say, I think if they said this is movie of the year, it's because they've only watched theatrical releases and Shudder. They're not premium podcasters like you and I, Scott,
that's true.
who have watched, stuff that's on demand and Tubi and I don't know, other shit, right? So not to sound like a snobby bitch, but like, honestly, if someone says that to me, I'm like, well, you've probably seen a couple movies this year. And yes, this would be the best. If you've only watched theatrical releases and Shudder releases up to the most recent drop, I could see this being your number one film of the year. And that's absolutely fine. But there are other films that are better, but I thought it was decent enough. Do I think it's going to win anything award wise? No.
It will for me probably.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's some things in it that could win an award for me, like depending on how the rest of the year plays out.
Awesome. I did like her. I did like the main character, and I did like her friend. I did like Sydney and her fellow nun friend. I thought she was endearing. The villains in this were hateable. Everyone did their job. Everyone did their job that they were supposed to do. And I think that's what made it an entertaining film. And out of the theater watch as well, it's the best one of the year. So, but that's a low bar. So, congratulations, Immaculate. You beat out Imaginarian Night Swim.
And also, I do have to say congratulations, Immaculate and Sydney Sweeney, for pissing off the super religious conservatives.
Really?
Oh, there are so many conservative politician type people that were like bashing Sydney Sweeney after this and talking about how this movie is sacrilegious and blah, blah, blah. And funny thing is, the marketing team got their quotes and then put them on the poster.
I love it. What was their problem? Why did they think it was okay.
Just because of the content of it. And I guess they for some reason latched on to Sydney Sweeney being one of them or something like that for some reason. I don't know why. And then she did this movie and pissed off a lot of people.
Oh, they thought she was super religious. They're like, she's playing a nun, she's religious. And they're like, now we don't like her.
Well, there must be something that was going on before this with her, that made them like her. I don't know, because I never even heard of her until this movie.
Now, what was she in before? What else has she done? Let's click on her quickly here and see. Anyone But You, Madam Web, The Ward, Night Teeth. So she was the other vampire in Night Teeth. She's been in a couple of things, but nothing that's that screams like religion. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, it pissed off a lot of conservatives. I just gotta give a
fuck's sake, she was in The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now, and yet, so I don't know what made the conservative, the crazy religious conservatives latch onto her, thinking that she was one of them. Maybe her political views are like theirs or something. Who knows? But either way, I'm just like, yep. I got to give a bravo clap to the marketing team for using their bitchiness to promote their movie.
I love it. You know what? Fuck them up.
Yeah.
Fuck them all up. Right. So for us, it's out of theaters up here, and it's available on Apple TV, Google Play, Vudu, Amazon, and Cineplex in Canada. I would say it's worth a rental. I think it's entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
I think you would be at a miss if you didn't watch it. Maybe it will be your top film of the year.
Exactly. This was, like I say, it was good, and it might be in my top 10. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've come to the most recent drop on Shudder. This was just dropped this last Friday, which was April, where are we now? 19th.
Yep.
And this movie is my top 5 movies of all time. I am just in love with this film.
As the kids this generation would say, this movie fucks.
Oh, man. I'm I don't even know how to get the words out on how much I appreciated this film. So, Late Night with the Devil. Short synopsis: the live television event that shocked a nation. A live broadcast of a late night talk show in 1977 goes horribly wrong, unleashing evil into the nation's living room. If we get nothing else this year on Shudder but this film, I'm happy with my Shudder.
Yep. This movie was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I could start with just saying the way they recreated late night 1970s TV show format, the look, the setting, the acting, the music, everything was nailed perfectly. Like, they nailed that vibe splendidly. And, like, it felt like you were just watching a late night talk show. Like,
100%.
It was really cool. And, like, the story unfolds and shit just gets crazier and crazier. And then when that third act hits, you're just going, fucking hell, all right.
Yeah, like I think that this is, I'm so excited to show my friend in the UK this film.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just think it is so fucking brilliant how it was filmed. The detail that they took into making this movie. It's an IFC film. And we've talked about IFC films frequently on this podcast. They tend to go either way. They tend to be super weird. And this one does get a little weird, but I just thought this fucking nailed it. I wanted more. I hope there's a sequel. Like, I want a backstory to some of the stuff that happened here.
Right. Like, this could have also been, the way it felt to me, this could have been an A24 film, and I would have been like, okay, yeah. I believe you.
Yeah, like, this was just, anyway, maybe some people won't be as high at it as we were, but Dave Bailey only gave it 3 stars, and that's fine. You know, everyone gets hit differently. Tim Gavis gave it 4. I'm probably seeing 5. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, you know,
if this
obviously it's a personal preference, but yeah.
Yeah, this is right now my number 1 film of the year. I absolutely loved it. It is sitting at a 9 out of 10 for me right now, but that is because I never give a 10 out of 10 right off the bat. I sit with it for a while, and then I'll do a rewatch towards the end of the year, and that's when I'll decide, okay, did the staying power stay with it, and then I'll know for sure. But I have a feeling, yeah, this is good. This is my number 1, and this may be a tough one to knock out of that spot.
Yeah, we'll see what else comes out this year, right?
Yeah, because I was gonna say everything from this, down to the performances, the score, the acting, and the effects,
the detail, the attention to detail.
Yeah.
In this fucking movie. Like, the third act does get a little weird, and I can get how some people would be taken out by that. It wasn't, I wanted more. I wanted more.
I embraced that weird. I'm like, yes, give me that shit. Yeah. That's awesome.
Right? Yeah, like, obviously Scott and I are, like, literally coming all over this film. We just love it so much. We're jerking it off like it's going out of style, like we're fluffers. But, like, it's just, you know, when we love a movie, we love a movie. So exactly. It just is what it is. You know, and I look forward to when we do our 100th episode around that time, when we go back and we talk about, you know, this made me think of how much we loved other films, even though they're not comparable. Rent-A-Pal. I thought about Rent-A-Pal because I'm like, fuck, that movie was so different. Like, it was just so unique and so fucking different. There was just some really, really good films that we've seen over the years. Talk to Me. Other ones that have just, you know, come out and have just been such fucking, like, slayed. Just completely slayed. And this is definitely one of them. So we'll talk about it at the end of the year. There's no doubt. This will be in our top 10. Where it will be, for me, it will be in the top 5. Like, you know, unless Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is that good. 2.
Which I've been hearing good things about. So.
Oh, man. And you know what? That's definitely a choice, like a taste, right? Like, you got to be into the low budget, silly film to have a good time with that one. So This is on the Shuddy. Like, honestly, like, watch it.
Yeah. 100% like watch it. This is the best theatrical release and best Shudder release, because it was in theaters, but it was like a limited run around here.
Yes, and just check it out. You will definitely not regret your time. And it's so funny because it's David Dasham. How do you know how to say his last name? Jasha Machina.
Let's see.
Macalina.
David Dastmalchian, I would say.
And he was in The Boogeyman last year.
Yeah,
and he hosted the Shudder Awards.
Yeah, I was like, he is one of those actors where you see him and you're like, he is like the sidekick or background character or secondary character. He's never usually the main focus. So this was like his first movie that I've seen where I'm going, oh, he's the main character in this movie. That's awesome because he's always been a great actor.
He's great, right? And like he's a really good actor. I really, really enjoyed him as well. Anyway, you heard it here on Friday Nightmares when Scott releases episode 2 years from now. We loved Late Night with the Devil. So that concludes our 2024s. Thank you, Scott, for agreeing to do this because I would be worried that I would forget about some of these films while I was gone.
I would have forgot almost all of them.
Right? So, and this is probably a very strong list of some that we at least enjoyed to some that we think are really, really strong. So that's good.
Yeah.
We're seeing improvements.
Let's hopefully it continues.
Right. All right. Oh, I heard the cat.
Yeah, that's great. He's like, pay attention to me.
I understand. I also meow when I want my pussy to be taken care of as well. Young Frankenstein, 1972. So as Scott knows, I have a side chick. It's called the Slumber Party Massacre podcast. And on this side chick podcast, I watch a variety of movies. So we recently had to pick some horror comedies. I, of course, chose the classic Cocaine Bear.
Fuck yeah.
2023. But Rebecca Reinhardt, who's a well-known indie actress, very well-known in the horror community, both as a podcaster and as an actress, chose Young Frankenstein.
I had a feeling she was the one.
Yep. This is a 1974. I wrote 72 on here, but that was incorrect. 1974. 106-minute runtime. And, this is the story. It's a mimic of the original Frankenstein, which I have not seen, which I am going to watch when I'm away in England next week. I have requested to my good friend Mark that he show me the original Frankenstein because I'm seeing a play version of it.
Oh, nice.
We have tickets to go to a play of it, so I feel as though I should at least watch the original movie. I think I could have appreciated this movie more if I had seen the original Frankenstein. I think I would have got the jokes a little bit better. But I'm kind of in love with Gene Wilder. Totally would have had affairs with him. Totally would have. I would have been like that co-star that was like, oh fuck yeah, let's hook up, Genie. I just love him, and I think he's really, really funny. And the way he delivers lines, I think, are hilarious. And the subtle sense of humor, I really, really enjoy. There's a character in here called Igor.
Yes.
Which is really, really funny. The whole Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Or it's just silly stuff like when he goes into the room and he's like, no matter what I say, don't let me out. And then they don't let him out. And he's like, I was just kidding. Open the door. Just kidding. It's just the way he fucking delivers it. I know you're a big fan of this film. You gave it 5 stars in the past. I definitely probably connect with more recent Mel Brooks films like Robin Hood Men in Tights, for example, because it's just more modern and I get it a little bit better. But I thought this was quite funny for the time that it came out. I love that it was filmed in black and white to kind of give it that oldie time view to it, making fun of the original. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I know you're a big fan.
Oh, this is one of my all-time favorite comedy horror films. It's not a horror comedy, but it's comedy horror where comedy comes first. And it is by far my all-time favorite Mel Brooks film. I think I've never even seen the original Frankenstein up until 2021. So
oh, right. Okay.
And when I went and visited Liz, she had me watch it. But
oh, nice.
This was one that I grew up with back when I was a little kid. Wayne, my stepdad, introduced me and my stepbrother to this movie, and we just laughed our asses off to it. It was just fucking funny as shit. The lines in this are so damn memorable. I can pretty much just watch this movie without actually watching it in my head because I watch this probably every 2 years. I am in love with this movie. Just look, especially the line where he's just going through. He's like, so I see we got a brain from an Abby someone. Abby normal. And just shit like that. It's
funny. It's funny. It's well written, good humor. I agree.
Yeah. And it's just Gene Wilder, like you said, is just amazing. And he is funny as hell. And then
he's so good. He's just so fucking good.
And just the play on words throughout this whole entire thing. And every character I fucking love. Fabuca and the horse was constantly every single time.
Oh my gosh. It's just a well-made Mel Brooks is such a funny dude. Like he
Oh, he
really,
really
really
is.
is. Oh, yeah. Is he still with us? I don't.
I
I know.
think he is. I have to double check, but yeah.
Okay.
Let me look here.
I know Gene Wilder has passed.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
Mel Brooks, shit. 2 more years, he will be 100.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
What a life!
June 28th, 1926 is when he was born.
Wow, what a life. And so his movies are Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, The Producers, Robin Hood Men in Tights, High Anxiety, Mel Brooks' silent movie, The 12 Chairs, Dracula Dead and Loving It, The History of the World Part 1, and Life Stinks. I've
Yeah,
seen only 5 of these.
because I've seen Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Spaceballs, Dracula Dead and Loving It.
I could have swore he did Airplane, but I guess that was somebody
No,
else.
yeah, that was someone else. Yeah, like I'm the only one like I haven't watched in a long time, so I don't know how it holds up is Blazing Saddles. But like,
Yeah, you kind of gotta be like watching it with different eyes.
yeah, I'll say, but but Robin Hood Men in Tights, Dracula Dead and Loving It, and Young Frankenstein are like my top 3 of his that I absolutely love.
Yeah, he did a great job at doing parodies, but I think he also casted these movies well.
Mm-hmm.
Like he casted people that he knew would respond well to his direction, I think, and also could deliver a good performance in these films. And that's a sign of a really good director when you can be like, these are the people I'm going to hire. This is why, and just having those performances really, really to me stood out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it though. Like
Yeah, I
I was
did.
kind of
I
curious
did.
about that.
I did, and I think, and it's my own fault for not watching the original first. I think I would have got more of the jokes because when you see a satire, when it's making fun of something, if you haven't seen the original, then it's like Scary Movie's so funny because you watched Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and stuff, so you get the fucking jokes, right?
Right.
If you haven't seen those films, then you're like, how is this funny? Right? Like there's funny parts to it, but it's not the same. So
Right, exactly.
I will rectify that soon enough.
Now I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on the OG as well.
Well, you know me, I'm not a big person for old-timey films, but I'm going to try to be a little more open-minded. And go in there and probably like be drinking when I'm watching it too.
Oh, of course.
And then of course, as always, we have our little book corner reviews.
Yeah, I seem to be on a trend of knocking out 2 books every single time we record.
You've given up fucking movie watching for reading.
Well, no, because I do the reading in my car on my breaks, and then like audiobooks when I'm driving or walking. So it's not like that's taken out of my movie watching time.
Well, maybe you should do a top 5 books of the year or something like that.
Yeah, it could be because I don't think I've read anything that's 2024, but like yeah, I could do like a top 5 books I've read this year.
Yeah, like still give people something to, for those that like, because it's always horror related typically, or thriller or science fiction or whatever, right? So I think it's, something you could do for sure.
Yeah, so but yeah, I knocked out 2 books this time. One was an audio book and one is a physical book that I did when I was on my breaks. But the first one I'll talk about is called The Troop by Nick Cutter. And this one is based in Canada. Actually, it's I'm not sure if this is a real island or not, but Falstaff Island.
I haven't heard of it. Doesn't mean it's not real.
But yeah, apparently what it is this scout troop of 5 kids and their scoutmaster.
We do have annoying scout people.
Exactly. But they go to a place called Falstaff Island. Like it's a yearly retreat where they go for a couple days to learn like survival skills and learn more about the plant life and animal life and all that, typical Boy Scout stuff. And they get to this island and, their phones are left, like their phones are put away and all this stuff because it's supposed to be disconnect from all.
Sounds annoying. And I was going to make a really inappropriate comment about scouts, but I won't. It's, yes. It's to get in touch with the nature.
Yes.
Yes.
But while they're there, a very emaciated man shows up on a rowboat. And,
oh no!
Like very sick, emaciated, and next thing you know, an infection spreads.
Oh no!
I won't say what type of infection because I will just say he escaped from a lab. And you may think, oh, I know where this is going, where he's escaping a lab. You do not. This ends up this is not what you think it is. Like I went into this thinking, oh yeah, this is a zombie horror film.
Yeah.
It is not.
Oh.
It is something worse. And the description I gave to Connor, because I was telling Connor like this, because Connor's into reading and very interested.
Yep.
From the description, I gave him a little bit of a spoiler, but from the description I gave him, he's going, so this almost sounds like Cabin Fever meets Lord of the Flies. I'm like,
ooh,
you kind of nailed it in a way, like, and it's still not what you would think with Cabin Fever, but it's body horror along those lines where it's gross and just like makes you uncomfortable, but it's very scientific. And just this book was incredible. Like,
cool.
I loved every character in this. I hated the right characters in this, and
very nice.
Like, no one is safe in this book. Like, from what happens in this scene. And
it's like this is in England when I'm going to England soon. No one's safe. Like
exactly. When you are in England, no one can hear you scream.
Right. When I show up at Manhattan, hi Matt, you want to watch Shudder? He's like, fuck my life.
You want to be a premium podcaster with me?
Come on now, let's watch horror movies together.
Yeah, that's
so funny. Anyway,
this and episode 13 that I talked about in the last podcast are two of my favorite books that I've read this year. They are both absolutely incredible, and this one is definitely made me squirm. It had some like really good descriptions with the body horror. The author Nick Cutter does such an amazing job, and it even Stephen King even had a quote on his book saying, this book scared the living hell out of me. It brought back old school horror.
I love it. So this might be an audiobook, and I have an Audible membership, so perhaps I should also add this to
I recommend.
Right. I'm looking at downloading a book. I'm trying to choose what I want to listen to on the plane. When I not to be like talking about my trip obsessively, but when I fly there, it's overnight. So I try to pick something that I can like listen to and kind of just zone out to.
Yeah.
So that might be an option.
Yeah, I'll say either that one or episode.
Nothing like murder and like kids dying to just relax you on a flight, you know?
Exactly. But yeah, the other one that I got was on sale on Audible for like $1.99.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So, and it's called Puzzle House.
How is it?
It's written by Duncan Ralston. So this is like a very indie author and an indie book. Like, so not big published. Only about 6 hours long audiobook wise. So very quick, easy listen. But this one also kind of screams Heather in a way, because Puzzle House is basically a story about 6 people that mysteriously get invited to this rich person's house, no one knowing each other, and they have to solve escape room puzzles to get out, basically.
Oh, fuck yeah, baby.
And this starts off very reminiscent of like the movie Escape Room and the movies we've seen like it, but then goes into a much darker path towards the third act. Like at first I'm going, okay, yeah, this is just a fun, easy read, and I'm going, oh shit, okay, this got a little darker than I expected.
Ooh.
Like there's basically, it's if you like escape room style horror films or novels or stories, this is right up your alley. This was a very simple, easy listen/read. It's a very short book, I think, for only like 200 pages or something like that, but an indie author, and yeah, I support the fuck out of this guy. This guy did a great job with this. This was very entertaining.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so that's Scott's Book Corner for you. Some quick little
love it
thoughts.
I love Scott's Book Corner. It's the best.
Yeah, and I'm digging through these.
Well, and it's nice to bring something different, right? Like, as true premium professional podcasters, we're just always evolving.
Exactly.
And, who we were before is not who we are now. We are just new and improved over the past 4 years.
and we're just takers of every little bit of horror. We sample little bits of everything.
Oh, we're takers, all right.
Yeah, right, we are.
We're like little parasites. I guess the last thing I want to shout out before we go is a big shout out to Tim Davis and Jaleesa Davis with their new podcast, Devour the 80s.
Oh, yes.
I listened to the first episode because I'm a Patreon.
So am I.
That's right. And it was good. I really enjoyed it. They're doing a big. Tim asked for feedback, and they plan on watching all 80s movies, like every single one or something close to that. And I said, dude, be careful. That's burnout material. I suggest you just pick some hidden gems and some well-known ones, but you know Tim, he's a true premium professional podcaster, so he's gonna go full in with his dick. He's not just doing the tip, he's shoving that whole thing in.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say, like, I'm just kind of curious though, because this is the '80s have a lot of movies, and
right.
you're also trying to watch all these new 2024s. So you be careful, buddy. You, like Heather says, that is burnout material. I mean, if it's anybody can do it, it'll definitely be you. But
it will not be Scott and I. Scott and I.
But I loved it. I love that episode.
That was great. So please check it out if you're a Dummies of Horror fan. I'm sure you'll enjoy Devour the 80s as well. Tim is an excellent podcaster. So, and his wife
is really good too.
Their chemistry's off the charts.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're a really affable couple. They kind of remind me a lot of you and Erica. If Erica was ever into podcasting, I think she'd be quite good too. I think she'd be quite likable as well. I don't know if that's ever something she wants to do. It's hard when you have two premium podcasters as friends to want to get involved, you know, like.
Right. I understand. It's intimidating.
It is. We're such professionals, Scott, that have been at it for so long that it's so overwhelming. And to make fools of yourself for years. Like, people at work will be like, I should listen to your podcast. I'm like, oh, no. No, you wouldn't want to. No, it's all good.
You see a different side of us.
You know, like, I be talking about a lot of horror movies that you wouldn't, you know, like, all the. We specialize in rape revenge, and you may not like that. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm glad we got some good 2024s to bring to the table. I don't know what else is around the corner, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I'll say, like, this gave me a little hope that the year is slowly turning around. So because it always starts off slow for the first half.
It does. And we're only in April. Like, it's April 21st today when we're recording. Scott will probably release this while I'm gone. And when I come back, I will definitely have a variety of different things to talk to, from a live stage play to a horror-themed cafe to the catacombs in France that I'm going to go into, making my own movie. Found footage. My friends are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Ah!"
I'm gonna ignore the tour guide and go off path.
Right. Well, it's super well lit, right? It's like, it's a major tour. So I find it funny that these horror movies are made of this, like, major areas where no shit could ever really happen, right?
Well, that's why you go off the beaten path, because then there'll be all the lights, it'll be all dark, and then you'll do the as above, so below, and you'll find hell.
Oh, that's right. That's my dream, right? That's definitely the time has come. So yeah, I look forward to recording when I get back. Probably at the end of May is when we'll do our next episode. But and hopefully I'll have watched some new 2024s when I get back. Hopefully more stuff will be dropped. And
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, I don't know what else is coming on Shudder. Like, there's got to be something in May or whatever.
Yeah, they'll probably announce like a week before May, like their May release schedule of what's going to be on Shudder. So yeah, I'm sure they'll have something.
And if you watch Kong versus Godzilla, I know the Fam Jam has, but if you, I want to know how it is.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'll say I definitely want to watch it. Just gotta see if I can get around to it, because I was gonna originally take the boys to go see it, but apparently Grandma and Grandpa took them. So
see, they didn't want creepy fucking stepdad taking them. That's why.
Do you blame them?
You're like, so I just want to tell you boys that I don't want to be disappointed. I expect the perfect family. They're like, all right, Scott, so can we get some popcorn?
No.
Only if you promise to be the perfect family. Sure, can we get some candy as well? We'll promise you whatever you fucking want.
You gotta be a premium family for this premium podcaster.
That's really funny, Scott. You're like, his children must have disappointed him because they liked Skinamarink. After I said it was a horrible film. As always, we are proud members of the Legion Podcast Network. They have a Patreon that you can go onto and support all of the various podcasters that are on our network, as well as get extra shows and fun little giveaways. And if you are not a member of the Legion Patreon yet, we don't know why anyway.
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Even my cat Gray says, meow.
Oh, it's so good.
What are you waiting for? Join us.
Meow. Meow. Join us today. It's like $2. So, and I think that's $2 American. So like $50 Canadian, but honestly, it's worth it. So, but yeah, in the meantime, Scott, you'll hear from me still. Don't worry, Scott.
I hope so.
Right? And if I find Matt Wood, I'll take selfies with him. It's like him tied up with duct tape, and like I'm like, look, I found Matt.
I've made him watch movies with me.
Right? It's like the den. I like set up like fucking videos in his room. He'd be like, blimey, Heather, just come on over. Like, it's fine. I got nothing else going on. I keep that. It's a shame that he's not closer. I wish I was flying into London or somewhere a little closer to be near him, because it still is it's like driving from the UP, like top of the UP to like your place, right? That's what like a 6-8 hour drive, right? It's a journey, so to say, right?
Yeah, but
right?
Yeah, if you do get to hang out with them, definitely send selfies, and I have something I can hold in precious, be like,
right?
Sexy Matt Wood.
Yeah, right. I'll be like, Scott wants me to touch you for him.
I'm stroking my wood to sexy Matt Wood.
I put on a fake beard and glasses and like, just pretend I'm Scott. I like Gremlins. It's the best film ever.
And see, that goes to show. I love movies that have terrible plot holes. Look at Gremlins, for example.
Oh, fuck, good point.
Plot holes,
but again, that is forgivable because it's about a ridiculous creature.
Because that one is ridiculous and it knows it's ridiculous.
Right? When I was listening back to our last episode, and I'll say this before we stop dragging this shit out, I used to love Scream. And now, like, I look at how I'm like, please don't make any more fucking Scream movies. Please stop. Like, it's so funny how you can go from being like, oh my God, and I still love the original 3, even the 4th. But then I'm just like, oh my God, please stop.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, this weekend, Eric and I, we pretty much binged the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Fun. Which stands out for you still?
Part 1. Like, I was watching them all and I'm going, oh, these are so bad now. Like,
even I still the second one. I like the second one.
I'll say I like the second one and the third one, but like even like them, they were just like, oh, these just feel so cheesy.
Yeah. The 5th one's tough to get through. It's a boy.
We tried, and I remember going, I used to love Freddy's Dead. I know it's a bad movie. We started watching Freddy's Dead last night. Oh boy. Yay.
But it's also like, I feel like sometimes I'm not someone that is good at rewatching films over and over again anymore. Like,
it's rare that I do it.
Yeah, like there's certain ones that sure during a specific time of year, okay. Like I do enjoy watching a Jason film or a Friday the 13th film in the summer, but like I don't know what, there's so many other films out there to watch, and there's so many new films. I just rather, and there's so much stuff I still haven't seen. Like there's a lot of classics that I still haven't watched.
Right.
And I don't know. That's just us, I guess. That's what happens when you're a premium podcaster. So, you know what I mean? Well, we will see you all soon. Thank you so much, as always, for listening and supporting us. And Scotty, do you have anything to say, good people?
Until next time, kiddies. Just want to let you know. Did you know Heather's going to the UK? But until next time, unpleasant dreams.
Cheerio.